Today, 3 dead as the siege at Lint Cafe ends in gunfire. Outpouring of grief as Sydney mourns the victims. And police face tough questions over revelations the gunman was on bail.
With Rebecca.
Good afternoon. This is a tragic day for the people of Sydney and Australia. A young mum getting her coffee before work and a cafe manager have been killed by a violent criminal after a 17-hour siege in Martin Place ended in the early hours of this morning. The lone gunman was shot by police. New South Wales Premier Mike Baird has announced flags on all government buildings will fly at half-mast today to honour those who lost their lives. They are Sydney mother of 3, Katrina Dawson, and Tori Johnson, a manager at the Lint Cafe. 4 people are being treated in hospital after being injured in the ordeal, including a police officer who suffered a gunshot wound to the face. The siege came to a deadly end as a sniper in the Channel 7 building uttered the chilling words, "Hostage down, window 2." After 17 hours, the siege came to a dramatic end. Heavily armed police stormed the Lint Cafe. And 7 News presenter Anne Sanders joins me now from Martin Place, where flowers are being placed at a makeshift shrine in honour of the victims. Hello to you, Anne. What's been happening there this morning is really quite incredible, isn't it?
It is, Beck. You know, this is Martin Place. This is the heart of Sydney. This is a place we walk every day this time at lunchtime. There are normally carols, there are buskers, there are people with shopping and bags. They're sitting on the steps over here, they're having lunch, they're talking to their mates. They're having a cup of coffee, maybe in the Lint store, but not today. Today they're here placing floral tributes right in the heart of Martin Place, right in the heart of our beautiful city. There are all sorts of people here today, Beck. Young people, old people, locals, workers, visitors, dignitaries. It's the one place they've gathered together to show symbolically how they feel about this atrocity that's occurred in our beautiful city. They're wearing their hearts on their sleeves and they just feel this is the only way they can express their sympathy for the loved ones and the victims of this terrible disaster.
And it's quite incredible. There was only a few flowers there early this morning when we were on air at 6 a.m. and now there seems to be hundreds upon hundreds.
Yes, it's extraordinary, you know, the outpouring of grief on the streets, completely unanticipated, but in retrospect you understand why. Just 24 hours ago, we were in our offices in Martin Place, just 100 yards up here. We have large glass windows that go really from ceiling to floor. We heard a siren go off, but you hear sirens all the time here on Elizabeth Street in Martin Place. We didn't pay much attention. And then, of course, we heard some shouting and we saw police and we thought there was an armoured guard hold up. And then within moments, we saw those arms outstretched and plastered onto the glass of the Lint Cafe. Particularly devastated today.
OK, thank you very much, Anne Sanders, live in Martin Place for us today. Prime Minister Tony Abbott will fly to Sydney later today after meeting with the National Security Committee of Cabinet in Canberra this morning. Live to Amelia Brace at Parliament House now. Amelia, what are the Prime Minister's plans today?
Good afternoon, Beck. Tony Abbott says he expects to be further briefed by New South Wales Police and also security agencies. And he also wants to take the time to thank everybody who worked tirelessly throughout the night. Now,
well, coming up after the break, we'll cross to the US and the UK to see how the world has reacted. Other news now, and a 9-hour siege in Melbourne's southwest has ended peacefully. A man allegedly involved in a fatal stabbing earlier in the week was inside a house at Altona North. Live now to Laurel Irving. Hello to you, Laurel. Police were able to convince the man to surrender, thankfully.
That's right, Rebecca. Yes, just before 11 o'clock this morning, thankfully it did end peacefully. Inside this house here behind me was a 21-year-old man that police wanted to question over a stabbing in Altona North, just a few kilometres away from here.
Well, hundreds of residents in Port Melbourne have been evacuated from their homes after a burst water main caused an enormous sinkhole. Cameron Bowe reports at least one car has disappeared right into the hole.
Beck, this situation began with a deep rumble, a thud, and then the sound of car alarms.
Next up after the break, the latest on the end of Sydney's deadly siege and the amazing show of public grief as mourners gather. Now to Sarah Cumming at the Sydney Police Centre. Good afternoon to you again, Sarah. Police have set up an independent investigation into this 17-hour siege.
Yes, that's right. Hello again, Beck. We heard from the New South Wales Police Deputy Commissioner Catherine Byrne a short time ago. She said this is a difficult, a complicated operation and the investigations will be thorough, meticulous and carried out professionally.
Still ahead in this special 7 News Bulletin, we'll have a forecast with you with David Brown.
Parts of South Australia, the northern half of Victoria, most of New South Wales, including the ACT this afternoon, and a severe weather warning is current for damaging westerly quarter winds to around 100 kilometres per hour, associated with a fast-moving cold front that'll rip across the southeast corner of the nation over the next few days. On radar, we can track some thundery rain that slipped across the region over the past few hours. Rainfall generally light and patchy, although, as we can see, there have been hundreds of lightning strikes over the past few hours. The tail end of the system is now gradually clearing through the Hunter Coast, heading up towards the mid-north coast there of New South Wales, and we've got a few clearing showers sweeping across Sydney. Now, the fire weather danger, as we can see, is severe to extreme over vast areas of the southeast corner this afternoon. This fast-moving cold front, as it moves across the region, will whip up those westerly squalls to around 100 kilometres per hour over the next few hours, but thankfully the winds will rapidly ease during the evening. In the west, a stunning day on the way for Perth. It should reach around 25 degrees. Adelaide, fine, mild, partly cloudy skies and around 24. Melbourne, as you can see, a top of around 31 degrees. We'll see a gusty westerly change arrive around about 4 o'clock this afternoon. In Hobart, a few more passing showers around 25 degrees. Sydney, as we saw on the radar, just a few clearing showers and it should reach around 28 degrees. Plenty of sunshine on the way for Brisbane today and around 31 degrees. Over the next 24 hours, we'll see that cool air gradually spill across the southeast corner. The tail end of this trough, though, again, triggering showers and thunderstorms throughout large parts of Queensland. So for Brisbane tomorrow, storms building, 35 degrees. Should be a fine day in Sydney, around 25. Melbourne, fine and mild, around 21 degrees. Adelaide, fine, up around 24. Plenty of sunshine on the way for Perth tomorrow, 25 degrees. Have a look at the Alice, though, a sizzler, late storms, 40 degrees. That's latest weather, Beck.
OK, thank you very much, David Brown, and stay with us for continuing coverage of the Sydney siege on a day of mourning for the nation. Thanks very much for your company. I'm Rebecca Madden.